Hi and welcome to my review of Battlefield 5's Firestorm, where we're going to try and answer the question: is Firestorm like PUBG, and is it worth buying Battlefield 5 for? Well, let's take a look. So, I mean, the first thing I've got to say is that Firestorm, it looks really good. You know, it's just what they said it would be. It's a huge Battlefield 5 map. And the textures are great, the levels of detail is really nice. This is a AAA Battle Royale that we're getting here. The sound is good as well. I've got the music turned off in this particular clip, but there's like swelling music, there's lots of ambient sound. The way that they do the Firestorm as it comes in with the crackling is quite clever as well. I really enjoy that. We've only got 64 players rather than the 100 you get in PlayerUnknown's Battleground, but that's not a bad thing, because as you can see from the video footage, when you fly over the island or the archipelago, the first circle is already there, and 64 players is probably a good balance. I always felt that Call of Duty, when it went to 100 players in Blackout, would get a little bit crowded. If you fly towards the edge of the map in Firestorm, you're pretty much guaranteed to be by yourself, as long as you avoid any of the named places. So, it looks better than PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It sounds probably about the same. It's got less players. What it does have has lots and lots of gadgets. As you can see here, I'm carrying a Panzerfaust, and you need Panzerfausts to blow up tanks and armoured vehicles that are going round the map. And that is very exciting. There's helicopters, there's amphibious jeeps, there's a lot going on. And in fact, I would probably say that Firestorm is a better experience when you play it in squads, because to use the tanks you need to have at least two people, one person driving the tank, one person operating the gun. And when there's a whole squad coming up against the tank to try and destroy it, that's very exciting too. As I say, with the helicopter you can have up to 4 people flying around, so that's very different to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. However, this is a Battle Royale, and it's a semi-realistic Battle Royale like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and at its heart they're pretty similar. I think maybe the biggest difference is forced by the first person perspective. I think with third person's perspective you feel a lot less constricted. Obviously you can see round corners without having to expose your body, where in first person you know, if you want to look around the corner, you've got to stick your head out, and you could get shot. And I've come to the conclusion that Firestorm plays a lot like Sanhok does in the final circles. Not right at the beginning now, because as you can see I've got lots of space to myself and I'm running around and I'm looting, and so I don't really have to worry that much about bumping into people. But when you start getting into the final circles, you do start bumping into more people. Now, this particular game I end up coming second, I think. And then I do a bit of camping along the way and I get a couple of kills. But what is similar is the fact that it feels very twitchy, twitch shooterish when you get into the final circles, in a very similar way that Sanhok does. You know, when you're playing Sanhok and you're rushing in this case, right, there's someone there, bang bang, you shoot them, and then as you're shooting someone else has heard that and they're running towards you, and you get loads of that in Firestorm. So it's kind of, you get into a gunfight, then you get into another gunfight, and it's kind of, you're going from one thing to the other. The gadgets, as you'll see if you watch the whole video when you get to the end, what happens is the guy, I had a really good chance of winning this one, but the guy damaged me with a rocket propelled grenade, I think, or a rifle grenade, and I got damaged. He destroyed my armor, and then we had a little gunfight and he shot me. So that's definitely something you need to bear in mind. And I kind of feel that in those final circles, position doesn't matter as much as the fact that you've got full armor and you've got grenades. Because the way that the armor works in Firestorm is that you can have up to 3 plates of armor, and in fact what that's doing is doubling your health. So each plate of armor, if you look at the bottom of the screen, see those turquoisey coloured bits. Each plate of armor is worth 50 points, 50 health points. And in order to start damaging somebody's real health, the white bar, you've got to get rid of all that armor first. And so when you're in the final circles, if you're up against someone who's got level 3 armour, and you haven't got any armour, or maybe you've only got 1 armour plate left, you are at a distinct disadvantage, because even though you might have the better position, you'll start firing at them, and then they have the ability to turn around and shoot you, and that's a big difference to PUBG, I think. It's fairly close, and we'll have to see how DICE and Criterion and EA balance this armour and balance the game going forward to see if they do anything, about this. Because I really enjoy my shooters, because obviously I'm an older person and I'm not, don't have the twitch skills of the younger players. I like it where if you can get a better position on someone, and you don't just completely potato your aim and miss them, then I think you should win that gunfight even if the person has better kit than you. So to answer the question, is Firestorm like PUBG? It is, but it's first person obviously, so if you're used to playing first person PUBG, it'll probably feel really good. The graphics are much better, and it feels a bit like playing the last few circles in Sanhok. So then, is it worth buying Battlefield 5 for? Obviously, if you've already got Battlefield 5, it's a free, it comes with the base game, so just start playing it and see what you think. And I think, you've got to ask yourself a few questions for that one. If you play PUBG, and you enjoy Sanhok, and you enjoy that level of hecticness, then definitely it's worth buying Battlefield 5 when it's on sale. I'd always put a caveat on this: is it's worth buying when it's on sale. Don't pay the full price, £60 whatever it is. Pay for it when it's like £30 or £25 or $30. That's the time to buy it. And if you really enjoy Sanhok and that type of PUBG play, then you will enjoy Firestorm. If you're more of an Erangel, Miramar, Vikendi type player, they're your preferred maps, then it's a bit of a maybe, to be honest, because you might find the twitchiness of the gunplay when you get into the final circles don't really suit what you enjoy out of it. So bit of a question mark over that one. However, if you've got lots of friends who buy Battlefield 5 to play Firestorm and you can play together as a squad, then I would say go for it, because you're going to have a lot of fun. Now, people who are just Battle Royale fans, so maybe you really like Blackout, or you like Fortnite, or you like Apex, then I would say, yeah, go for it as well, because those games are all a bit faster, especially Apex and Blackout. They're all faster than PUBG, and I would say that although Firestorm is definitely slower than those, in the final circles you are getting that twitchy kind of shooter, and you've got things like the gadgets. Although the gadgets are Panzerfausts and rifle grenades and sticky dynamite and this sort of thing, it's kind of another level to the game in a similar way that the perks and specializations and the Legends abilities bring a different level to Call of Duty's Blackout and Apex Legends. That way, if you're a fan of shooters in general, I would have thought you probably bought Battlefield 5 by now. But if you haven't, but you're a bit of a Battlefield fan, then you should really buy Battlefield 5 when it's on sale, because although it's no Battlefield 1, it's no Battlefield 4, they have done a lot to the game to improve it, and it is a lot better than it was. And yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable experience, and it's worth having a go with Firestorm, because even though I've only got 2 solo wins so far, and I've probably played, 30 matches, I would have thought, something like that, it does give you that adrenaline surge that only Battle Royales can give. And this is the similar sort of adrenaline sort of surge that I get when I'm playing PUBG solos and I'm getting into those final circles. That slow ramp up of tension, and you feel the sweats, and you feel the sweat start happening, and you've got to talk to yourself, right, just relax, breathe normally, think where the enemy gonna be, and then carry on. And it's really your body is having a physical reaction to the game in the way that it does, well, for me anyway, in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So, is it worth buying Battlefield 5 for? Well, if you're a Battlefield fan, you haven't got it already, yes. If you're a PUBG fan of like the Sanhok play, then definitely yes. But if you're more of an Erangel, Miramar, Vikendi type of slower pace type of player, then maybe not. But if you've got £30 or $30, burning a hole in your pocket, then give it a go. Now, one final point I'll make before I leave you just with a few minutes of the final circle is the gameplay loop that we now have in Battlefield 5, because I think this adds a lot of value to the game. With PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on PlayStation, all you've got is Battle Royale on the different maps. On the Xbox, you've got custom games as well, so you can play War Mode, which is a respawn game mode. Doesn't play very well, and you've got that on PC as well. But what you've got with Battlefield 5 is we've got the single player that you can play. So you can play the single player campaigns, which are a bit pants, but you've got the single player combined arms missions, which is basically you against AI bots, and that's really good for improving your aim and getting used to the weapons. And then obviously you've got the whole world of the multiplayer, the massive world of playing 64-man Conquest, Breakthrough, Frontlines, Grand Operations, and then you've got the Battle Royale in Firestorm. So what that means is you can do a bit of practicing, to get warmed up in combined arms, shooting bots. Then you can go off and play like a respawn, like play Conquest, for an hour or so, play a few games, and that can be great fun. And then you can dive into Firestorm, and then if during Firestorm, it's obviously one death and you're dead, you kind of go, ooh, actually, I'm getting a bit frustrated now. You can then dive back into Conquest, and it's a really nice loop. One of the reasons why I made Call of Duty's Black Ops 4 my game of the year last year, because I thought that gameplay loop of multiplayer blackout, multiplayer Battle Royale was really good, because it kept the game fresh. Because what happens a lot of the time with PUBG is that when you're really frustrated with the game, you've got to turn it off and go and play something completely different. But with Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty, you don't need to. You can go and play Conquest, or go and play Team Deathmatch, or go and play Domination. So bear that in mind. You're not just buying Firestorm, you're not just buying Battle Royale with Battlefield 5. You're buying all these other modes that complement it and help it. And really looking forward to seeing how it develops. And the development of the Battle Royale is something we've got to look out for, because remember that the name of the Firestorm map is Halvoy. It's interesting that they've given it a name. They didn't just call it the Firestorm map, which may indicate that they're thinking about introducing more maps, and that would be fantastic indeed. So there we go. Battlefield 5 Firestorm. I really enjoy it. It can be very frustrating, just in the same way that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds can be, and Blackout can be, and Apex Legends can be. But you get Battlefield 5 with it, so if you're a big fan of a faster-paced PUBG, the faster-paced parts of PUBG, then I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Anyway, that's enough from me. Put your questions and comments down below. Enjoy the video, hit like if you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.